I remember the past, it used to be dark days. Me and my switch lies, and we taking on both ways. Wanted to thug it out while taking the right way.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Evie, and today I'm gonna be doing a story time. So our Jenny's not here because it's more of a like yeah, he was there through it, but like I'm the one that was really going through it. If you know what I'm if you know what I'm trying to say, like we just felt like it was more of my story to tell. Thankfully, thanks to Jesus, I finally like overcame it, and now I'm ready to speak my truth. So I kind of wrote everything down because I'm a control freak. Okay, so I was 17 when I found out I was pregnant, right? And it was the summer before school though when I found out. So I was in this like big transition to where like just a couple months ago I was out here partying, drinking, smoking, doing everything, you know, like, so I was like in the middle of like preparing myself, like, okay, I'm gonna be a mother now, like I have to take on this responsibility, you know, it was me and our Jenny's choice. Like, how am I gonna change myself so my child can love me, even though Abel will love me. I get emotional every time I say it, but Abel will love me no matter who I am, but I wanted to be a role model to him, you know, and I didn't want him to be like, oh, my mom's out partying, or oh, my mom, you know, like even though it's not a bad thing to do like once in a while, you know, but I wanted to step up and take that responsibility and take it seriously, you know, because I'm like in charge of this little human being, you know. So whatever, I'm in this transition doing that, and then September hits and we finally find out what the gender was, right? So we found out it was a boy, obviously. I found out when I was 20 weeks, right? And then like a whole month later, I started feeling like weird, like, and I thought it was like, you know, because I experienced like, how do you say this? I experienced the morning sickness like or very early in the beginning, like, so by that time like I didn't have it for a while, and I was just feeling like weird, like my body, and so I thought it was that again, so I just didn't pay no mind to it, right? Then I started seeing like blood, right? And you know, and I thought, like, I was like, well, I looked it up because Google. So I looked it up and I was like, okay, like they say it's like it's kind of normal, whatever. Don't trust Google. So then me and our Jenny was in school one day, right? And you know, we always meet up before classes, whatever. So we were in school. I was like, I really don't feel good, like I don't know what it is. I don't know if something's wrong with the baby, like I don't know what's going on. So he was like, well, go to the bathroom, see if you're still bleeding, right? So I go to the bathroom and it was a lot of blood, like a lot of blood. So I was freaking out, and but I didn't want to go to the hospital because like I didn't want to deal with that, because I, like a couple months back, I just recently like lost my uncle, you know, so I just didn't want to like lose my baby too, you know. So my mind wasn't right back then, you know. Thankfully I had our Jenny, so her Jenny convinced me to go to the hospital. So I call my mom, she picks me up, we go to the hospital. So we go up there, whatever, and I was feeling fine, like I didn't feel like anything was wrong with me, like it was just fine. And so they sat down, they did a whole bunch of tests, and then the doctor sees the blood a little bit, right? So she's like, oh, like, yeah, you've been bleeding, whatever, like that. Then she does a swab, and then she says, how many weeks are you again? So then I tell her, you know, I'm only 24 weeks. And then she says, well, your water broke. And I was like, what do you mean my water broke? all of a sudden these nurses like come rushing in the room, didn't tell me what was going on. Like, they were just telling me my water broke and left me there with like questioning like what the heck is going on. So they rushed in the room, they quick put me upstairs like if I was in it, like if I was in labor. And it was just like, it was too much. Like, I'm like, I just found out I was gonna be a mom like not that long ago. Now my baby's not even, you know, like everything was just going through my mind. So I started crying. And then my mom's calling her Jenny. I'm telling him what's going on, and da da da. So we go to the maternity unit. Then everybody from like each department starts talking to me, right? And telling me the risk that I might have. So NICU comes in, right? And they're like, your baby only has like a 40% chance of living, right? And I was like, what do you, like, I just stood there like in shock. I couldn't say nothing. Like, I was just like I was just okay, you know? Like, so I just stood there and they're telling me like my baby's not gonna live. Like, I have to prepare myself. And another one came in and was like, well, we're probably gonna have to induce you because your heart rate might go down. So everybody was just coming in, and it happened so fast. Like, I don't even remember half of the people that came in and talking to me, because it just happened so fast. They didn't give me time to like really process what was going on. And not saying I was a kid, like but I was 17, you know, like I need time to think, like, you know, I'm over here worrying about graduation and becoming a mom, and you guys are like throwing all this at me, you know. And another nurse comes in, talks about the breastfeeding, whatever, if you know my baby was to live. So then she starts talking about how, you know, I'm young and maybe whatever, you know how people like to put their opinion on teenage pregnancy, but I'm not gonna get into that because it frustrates me. So then our Jenny comes in, right? Jenny comes in, they're like trying, when I tell you, they're trying to find a vein, right? And ever since I was younger, you cannot find my vein. Like, it's so hard to find my veins, right? In my arm. So then they start poking me from here, right here, right here. They could not find a vein. They were poking me literally for 30 minutes straight, like just trying to find a vein, because they said like it's something, I don't know what was going on, but they just said I needed an IV, and that if I didn't have an IV, everything was gonna go bad. So then they start poking me everywhere, right here, right here, right here, right here, everywhere. And they did not find a vein, right? So then our Jenny's there. Our Jenny does not like blood at all. So they found one right here, right? But they kept poking it like 5 times, and my blood squirted out, right? And he was like, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, I need to go to the bathroom. And my mom was trying to tell him to sit down. He didn't want to sit down, whatever. So then the nurse was like, no, you're gonna sit down. They brought him apple juice, whatever, so he could come down. Then all of a sudden, everything, you know, all the chaos left, and I was in the room with the IV and stuff. And then they come to my room and they said that I'm gonna need a steroid shot, or just to keep the baby inside my stomach, you know, so he can live. And of course, you know, like, I'm gonna do everything to save my baby, so of course I did it. It hurt, but I didn't care at the time. Fast forward, then they're talking to me and they're like, we're gonna try to keep this baby in you for another 10 weeks because I don't like the way that this is looking right now, and I don't want the baby to come in right now because there's like a big chance he's not gonna make it. So I'm like, well, I don't care, like, do whatever you gotta do, like, this is my baby, right? Mind you, before any of this happened, I was stressing so much because I was dealing with personal issues. So that was like the big cause of this whole thing, right? And I beated myself up so much for that. So they were saying, like, just to calm me down and to relax, don't stress. But of course, when somebody says don't stress, you're gonna stress. So, and then they said that I was gonna be in bed rest for 10 weeks, right? And bed rest was, I cannot leave my bed, I cannot do heavy lifting, I cannot go out like that because walking too much may cause blah blah blah, you know. So I was already going, you know, through stuff personally, to add on that, and I'm not saying it as like a selfish reason or whatever like that, but because I wanted to save my, like, I did, you know, like I wanted to save my baby. I didn't want him to come early, God knows. But I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm gonna get emotional. But adding on to what I was going through, plus, you know, the staying on bed rest for 10 weeks, not doing anything, not going to school, trying to go to school in a computer, which now it's normalized, but back then it was just, it was too much for me. Like, it was too much. It took a really, really big toll on me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it took a very big toll on me. I was depressed. I didn't want to live anymore. I felt like I was dying. Like, I felt like I was dying. I felt like everyone around me just didn't understand, and my mom tried and my friends tried, but I just didn't want to be here anymore. I was sitting in a room literally, and like all my thoughts were coming in my mind. Everything that I was going through was coming in my mind, and it was like, it was too much for me. It was too much. And the whole time, and God knows, like, I was praying and stuff like that, and God knows, and God was like, girl, like, you're gonna make it. Like, you're gonna get through this, and you're gonna see your baby, and you're gonna live happily ever after with your baby, you know. And so that was like a very hard time for me. And on top of that, me and our Jenny were having our issues back then, so I really didn't see him, like, and you know, we would break up and go back together and break up. You know, it was very toxic back then. And it was a lot. It was a lot, and I felt like I had nobody in my corner, even though there was my mom and stuff like that. But I felt like I didn't have nobody. I felt like I just wanted to be gone, and I think that it was gonna be better, you know. And that's the devil. But then it was December that it came around. Then I was begging the doctor. I'm like, I cannot do this anymore. Like, I can't. Like, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, I need to get out the house. I need to do something. Even if it's like the grocery store, like, I need to do something. I just can't do this. I can't. So they checked me to see if my water broke again. So my water broke from the top, mind you. On the top, I didn't know what happened. It's like this, let's just say it's like a balloon. Broke from the top and was dripping on the sides, right? All of a sudden, with me and our Jenny praying to God, it sealed. And I don't know how. The doctors didn't know how it can happen, but it sealed. And I know how. My father, you feel me? Like, they were just amazed. They didn't know how it happened, you know. Sorry, it's a lot to go through. But I was okay. So then they sent me back to school. They wanted to keep close observation on me, just because, you know, with everything that was going on. And so I would go to my OB 2 days a week just to see, right? And it was so annoying, but I had to do it. So I went back to school, but I couldn't go through the stairs. I was still restricted on a lot of things, so I was working on it, you know. Luckily, there was some teachers that really understood, some teachers that didn't, but it's a whole nother story. Then when I got back to school, I felt like I was being, I don't know how to explain this. Like, when I was in school, I just didn't feel good, you know. And with me and our Jenny going through what we went through and whatever like that, like, I didn't feel good about myself. I felt very insecure. I felt like, and a lot of people won't say this, but I'm gonna be real with y'all, you know, like, I really felt insecure about myself, you know, because I'm this like walking ball, and there's pretty girls and stuff, like I was just very insecure about myself. I was very insecure about everything, like, just everything. And like, my confidence, my self-esteem went out the door. Self-love said, what's not here? So I was just in a very dark place, and I just wanted to thank God I was not 18 at the time, because I really just wanted to drop out of school. I really did. So thankfully I had people in my corner. which was my teacher Alvarado, my mentor Mara, my guidance counselor Gailey, one of my best friends Sam, and like thankfully I had them in my corner, because I swear if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for Sam pushing me every single day, all of them pushing me every single day, I swear I would not have graduated, because I wanted to be like, it was a very dark time. Like, I just didn't want to be here anymore, and I don't want to cry, but I just didn't want to be here, and it was a lot. It was a lot. They kept pushing me to graduate when I didn't want to, and I ended up graduating, and my mind be everywhere. See, I made a list, didn't even like look at it. I'm all the way towards graduating. Rewind back to January. So the doctor said it's time to be induced because Abel was tiny. When I tell you, this little kid was tiny, he wasn't growing like that anymore in my stomach, and the doctors were very concerned, and they said that I'm gonna be induced because there's no way they can let me go up to my due date, which was February 10th, and like, because my heart rate would go down and the baby's heart rate would go down, and it was like a high chance that me and him would be like, you know. So they ended up inducing me on the 29th of January, and it was a snowstorm, and me and my mom had a hell of an adventure just going to the hospital. Mind you, she lived like 3 minutes away from the hospital, and it took us like 20 minutes just to get to the hospital. And yeah, then my baby was born. Thank God, bro, thank God. He's a miracle baby. But yeah, my baby was born, beautiful. He was 5 pounds and 12 ounces. He was a little tiny thing, and he was only 17 inches. And those guys who think that my baby is so huge on camera, he's really not. Like, if you see him in person, he's so tiny, and I love every inch of him. And I would do it all over again with everything that was coming to me. I would literally do it all over again, because that moment when I first seen him, like, I can't cry every time, and I'm not trying to cry, but that moment when I seen him, it just really, I'm like, wow, like, I really did this for you, you know. I'm gonna take a break. All right, guys, as you can see, the waterworks was going. So, and I was trying not to cry, I swear. I guess I just wanted to tell this story. Pregnancy is hard. Like, it's so hard, and I feel like we don't give people who is or was pregnant like the recognition that they deserve, because they make it seem like pregnancy is this beautiful easy thing to do. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing to be pregnant, but it was like nothing that I expected. They told me that it was going to be like the best thing I ever threw, and honestly, if I'm really being honest and raw with you guys, it was the worst experience. Like, it was literally the worst experience, and I was scared through all of it, and I'm being vulnerable with you guys, but it was scary, and it made me not want to be pregnant anymore. A lot of people don't know this, surprisingly. Females know this, but you know, you can die from being pregnant, like from giving birth, or the baby can die, or and it's just so much. And I'm a very emotional person. I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that, because I feel like that would destroy me, you know. And I don't know, like, I just think that we should give people, women, the recognition that they deserve, to have to go through all of this. And even the women who can't, give them recognition for being able to be strong, you know. Like, I'm telling you, because it's a lot to go through, and I feel like men don't realize that until they're going through with it with the woman, you know. Because Arjani, he was like, girl, you got it, you're the strongest woman I've ever known, because it's a hard thing to do, you know. I guess I just wanted to tell this story for those, maybe somebody's going through the same thing that I went through. Maybe you guys need that push when you guys are pregnant or whatever. I don't know what the case may be, but I really just wanted to tell my story to maybe help one of you guys and, you know, spread the word that God is there. God is there, and God will help you and let you get through it. He heard my prayers because I was screaming. Mind you, at the time I wasn't even right with God. You know, I was doing worldly things. I was sinning, but God is there, and God loves us. God loves us. And sometimes I don't know why, because we're so mean to him, but he's still there, and he's always going to be there. And I just want you to know that, you know, you have support on this end. And I love my women, you know, we have to stick together. Also men, you know, like, I just want to be there for people and talk about things that don't want to be talked about. And depression, girl, you're going to get through it. Trust me, you might not feel like you're going to get through it for a long, long time. Trust me, I've been there and I've known, but you're going to get through it. You got it, mamas. Or you got it, guys. I'm telling you. But yeah, that was my story. I'm sorry to get sad for a little bit. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to be real and raw with you guys. I feel like I'm being me, you know, and that's all I want to be. Like, I don't want to be somebody else. I want to tell my story because it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. And now I have my almost 2-year-old walking around and running and hugging me and cuddling with me every night and kissing me, and I thank God every single day for letting me have that. I don't want to cry again. Okay, so yeah, guys, I'm, you know, being a little vulnerable for a minute, you see, but if y'all want a story, another story time, because girl, I got stories. Me and Arjani got stories. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, whatever, feel free to DM me or text me, whatever. My social medias will be down at the bottom. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Put your post notifications on. Make sure, if you haven't, watch the other video that we posted last week. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.